out there and welcome to my channel. My name is Milesy. Today I am going to be taking a look at my toolbox because it's been a while since I showed you guys what I keep in there, and it's kind of changed a little bit over the last couple of years. So I've moved it. It's no longer in that great big blue box that it used to be. It's in an even bigger art bin, which you can see right here. And I'm actually going to show you kind of what it looks like on the inside, and then we'll go through everything. But even this is kind of not big enough, but it's got several compartments. It's pretty much a fishing tackle box that's been rebranded as an artist supply box. But let's go ahead and put that over there. So on the top layer, pretty much I've just had to put these things wherever they will fit. There's not a lot of room in here, but we'll just go through kind of compartment by compartment. First, I have a pen, and let's make sure this is on autofocus. Should have done that before. Yes, it is. But first, I have this little pen right here that it doesn't really want to focus on. And this is just for marking my patterns and changing things up when they need to change. Usually that only happens for sprites though. I've also got a lot of Crayola markers. I don't have all of them in here. They've kind of vanished and just gone everywhere, but these little washable pipsqueaks. And then I've got the ultra washable regular ones. I have both of these from when I was doing that Crayola video, and they both work relatively well. The green, I used the green one on Doctor Strange, and I did have a little bit of trouble getting it out, but it still did come out. I have also got my giant collection of my Leonis pens, which it doesn't really want to focus on, but that's fine. These are the ones that I use for all of my gridding. I freaking love these pens. I have so many of them. And then I've just got a couple of spare Sharpie highlighters. I use the Sharpie ones because they're cheap and I can get them on Amazon in great big boxes. After that, I've got 3 of these. Just little tape measure things, super useful for when I'm measuring out fabric. And I have 3 of these because I'm really bad at losing them. I've got these 2, which were about 2 for $1 at Michael's, and I have no idea where that one came from. This right here is my special hole punch that I don't use too much anymore, but this is what I use for punching holes in floss cards. And then some of you guys might recognize these. Let's see if this one has anything in it. It does! This is the Budget Floss Thread Heaven, whatever it's called these days. I don't know, I got it at Safeway for like dirt cheap, and I've got a whole bunch of it. And these are just contact lens cases. Oops, got away from me. But these are just contact lens cases. I did an entire video on these. They are super nice, super easy to use, makes metallic floss so much nicer. I've also got just a collection of spare bobbins, and there are 2 different brands and 2 different sizes in here, but you know what? Bobbins are bobbins, and if they're useful, I'll keep them around. Okay, now in here we've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a couple pairs of scissors. I've got some storks and some little whatever these are. I have at least 3 more pairs of scissors hanging around somewhere. My giant thing of needles, you can see them all in there. Most of these are size 26, but there's a couple of 24s and a couple of 28s in here, just because I kept forgetting what size I like. Teeny tiny little seam ripper. It's a little bit broken case of the cap here doesn't really like to stay on there. I keep losing the cap. What else have I got in here? Well, I'm also missing something else that I need to find. I've got a whole bunch of these. These are for pulling the tacks out of my stretcher bars when I use them, and the reason why I have a whole bunch is because you get one with every set of tacks, and I've bought a lot of tacks. And then I've got 2 If I can pick them out of here. Not really. Ah! There we go. I've got two different styles of needle threaders. I actually really like these ones. I like these ones a lot better because these, if anybody's ever used them, they are flimsy as hell. And I'm missing something else. Let me see if I can find it. I have got these, which I think I'm going to move somewhere where I can get to them more easily. But first I have this single little pin. It's just a sewing pin, and I have blunted the tip because this is what I use when I'm gridding. It's just a lot easier to be able to count the squares in the hard hanger with this because it's got that right there. I think you guys can see that. It makes it a lot easier to pretty much keep track of it wherever it happens to be on my fabric. And then I've got three great big needles. And these are what I use. I have three because I don't know, they just showed up one day. But these are what I use for when I am mounting finished projects onto a hoop, anything like that. That's what the needles are for. They make it super nice. That way I'm not breaking my embroidery needles because they are very easy to break. Underneath, shit. So underneath here, the second level is just magnets. I really need to find a better place for them. They don't belong in my bin. I just don't have a good place for them. We'll do this this way, kind of go sideways on it. First, I have a single fingerless glove. And this is for when I am working on something in a hoop. I can wear this. I don't get the oils from my hand on the sides of my fabric, so you don't get those horrible lines. Super nice to have. I don't know where its friend is. I've only got the one, but the one is all I need. And these two things, two more gloves, which can serve a similar purpose because you're not going to be holding on to it. You're wearing a glove, but these are actually compression gloves. And I use these for when my wrists start bothering me. They're very nice to have. The annoying thing is that you can't buy them in pairs. I've only been able to find them one-off. But I think they're like 10 bucks each, so they're kind of expensive. But they're super nice for those huge marathon recording sessions of mine in those big streams. And this is pretty much the part of the bucket where nothing makes a whole lot of sense. But I have this. Some kind of scary looking pliers. These things exist because sometimes my tacks break. And when my tacks break, these things help get the little pokey bits out of my stretcher bars. And then I've got my bent needle nose pliers. The bent ones are especially useful for when I am filming on my stand because I cannot turn my stand over to see what I'm doing, which can sometimes make it really difficult if the needle gets stuck somewhere. So these pretty much exist just to help my needle get unstuck when I need it to. Some blue painter's tape, which mostly I use to shore up the edges on my fabric. I don't care about tape residue on the end of my fabric because it's the margins. There's plenty of space for you to just cut that off. So that never really bothers me. I know a lot of people really don't like to use tape, but if that's gonna be the margin anyway, it doesn't matter, I don't think. Yeah. I've got this, a little bobbin winder. I've never actually really liked this. I have it. I might give it to someone else, but this thing right here, it pretty much clips right on to your craft box, and it clips onto any craft box. But I've always found that you kind of need 3 hands to operate these. I don't know if I just don't know what I'm doing, but I've never liked it. Okay, now we have, I think, yeah, this is a whole bunch of Velcro. So much Velcro, which is entirely for my scroll frames. And this is not the Velcro that they sell with it. I use the American Dream scroll frames and whatever cheap Velcro I was able to find on Amazon. But I really like this stuff. It's nice and heavy duty. It'll stick really well. And I haven't had to replace it off of any of my scroll rods yet, so that's nice. Gorilla Glue, again, it doesn't really go in here, but it's convenient. It can probably, no, I don't think it can go up there with the magnets. Maybe? No. Maybe if I do this? No. Maybe it can. The Gorilla Glue is entirely for making needle minders. That's really all that is. Maybe that can go up there. I have, it's hard to see because it's been kind of obliterated, but this is just some red fishing line. I want to say it's 14-pound test. I got it because it's red, but I use this for gridding on darker fabric. I don't like it as much because I do also have, I forgot to show you guys this, the water erasable pencil. I did a review on this thing a while ago, last year at some point, but I mainly use this thing for gridding on dark fabric these days. I like it a little bit better, but the fishing line is nice to keep around just for some projects where you might not want to draw on the fabric because the fabric may not be super color fast, so I do like that. This, you guys have seen most of these. This is just a whole hell of a lot of needle minders. I have so many needle minders. And yeah, there we go. Everything sucks. It's kind of hard to tell because my light over here is still super wonky, and I forgot I'm supposed to be using a different camera app. So apologies if the white balance is all screwy. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, just a huge collection of needle minders. This is silicone earplugs, and I have a whole bunch of these. This is basically thread heaven. It's just in a super cheap format. This is what I did a video on a while ago. I'm never ever going to run out of this, but I have it. It's super nice. And last, I have some matte lipstick. Not really. Actually, this is just where I keep all of my tacks. It's a convenient big box that fits in my toolbox, but yeah, pretty big box full of hundreds of tacks. I kept buying the tacks because I was like, oh no, I don't have any left and I want to start a new project. And then the other day I took all of my whips off of their stretcher bars and had more tacks than I knew what to do with. So I don't think I need to buy tacks for a while. I think I'm good. But I just wanted to kind of go through my toolbox. It has been a long time and some things have changed, some new things have been added, some old things have gone away. I used to have in here, but I don't think I keep it in here anymore, mainly because there's no room. I used to have some thread in here, like just some cheap floss, or sometimes I'd keep some pearl cotton on hand for when I am putting a finished project on a hoop. I just don't have room. I really need to sort this stuff out. I think I need a bigger toolbox is what I need, because this one ain't big enough. But I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else that I really use that doesn't already have its own house. I've got hundreds of hoops that I don't really use. I've got so much floss that you guys have all seen. You guys have all seen the fabric. But I haven't shown you what I keep in my toolbox recently, so there we go. That is that. So I am going to go ahead and leave you guys with that for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.